G'day fellas, and welcome back to another casted game. Now, before you look in the top left-hand corner of the map and say, oh my god, Aussie Drunker, another French mirror, keep in mind, okay, these two players that we are going to be watching are two of the best players, and of course, we are watching in the lead-up to Genesis. Genesis is going to be happening this weekend, so if you haven't already, make sure you tune in to that. I'll be leaving links in the description as well as in the pinned comments for all the information that you need to know about Genesis. It is the $20,000 Age of Empires tournament that begins this weekend. Well, I say begins, but the main event begins this weekend. We have got ourselves a Battle of the Bold right now. Marine Lord, who spawns in the west of the map, going to be playing the French, as we spoke about earlier. His opponent, you guys will be familiar with him. It is, of course, Give You Anxiety, one of the Age of Empires 3 pros, currently sitting at about rank 6 on the ladder. Marine Lord sitting at rank 2 on the ladder. So these guys are going to be very evenly matched. And let's talk a little bit about how these players are playing. We see both players beginning an early hunting, well, I was going to say an early hunting cabin, an early mill out on this hunt. And take a look at the weird little spawn that Give You Anxiety's opponent, Marine Lord, has got. This is very curious. I have never seen this before at all on this map. This is save this seed. Save this seed. If you want to play on this, hold on, give me a second. I'm going to just press escape here. There you go. Take a screenshot of that seed. This is the ultimate in turtling. Oh my lord. I have never seen anything like this. Look at this. One wall segment here. One wall segment here. One wall segment here. And your opponent can never attack you. This is absolutely crazy. This is the most insane map spawn I have actually seen. This is wild how good this is. This is incredible. Now, this is actually going to stuff Marine Lord up pretty bad, though. Like, I say that. He's got his berries. He's got his deer. He's got a gold. He's got a second gold. Where's his stone, though? Oh, my lord, Marine Lord, where's your stone? No, not like this, Marine Lord. Oh, no, no, no. Okay, Marine Lord is going to have a little bit of a tough time expanding this game. Wow. Wow. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, well, can Marine Lord possibly win this game with one of the worst spawns I've ever seen? I don't know if this is the worst spawn I've ever seen or the best spawn I've ever seen, but I tell you what, it's pretty crazy. Compare that to Give You Anxiety, and it's like, yeah, I've got an in-base stone, I've got my nice little deer hunt, I've got a gold mine, yeah, it's on the front, but it's not terrible. Berries at the back as well, so not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it, so yeah, I think I'd be pretty happy with that as well. GUA now going to be aging up, dropping down that School of Cavalry, and really having quite an open base. Compare the pair for a second. Have a look at the difference between these two. This is just wild. Now, this is part... Now, there's a little bit of a discussion in the Age of Empires community about map generation, and I will be honest with you. I don't really know what side of the fence I'm sitting on at the moment. I'm kind of sitting on the side of I would like for things like these mountain passes to be predefined. So that would be like a static feature so that you don't get these terrible spawns. Because when I look at this really is a terrible spawn. Okay, this is absolutely, you know, I would not wish this on my worst enemies. This is going to be very tough for Marine Lord. Actually, there's a little bit of a pathway through right here. So I guess it's not terrible for him to be able to expand out here, but he's going to have a bit of a tough time. But I would love to see, say, static mountains, static ledges, I was going to say. I don't know what you'd call them. Static hills, but then have the resources distributed on them in a random way. So you don't know where the resources are going to be, but you would know where the mountain ranges are going to be, that sort of thing. Now, another thing to note on this map that I think kind of needs to be changed at the moment is there's not a lot of wood. Okay, you get one starting wood, one secondary wood, so you got two. Now, your enemy's obviously got two as well, if the map spawns correctly. But then take a look at the map. There's just absolutely no wood. It's kind of crazy. When it gets to the late game, you really have to be prepared to play without wood. So, because of that, you need to be out on this trade as quickly as possible. You need to have markets set up over in this corner, trading into this corner, because you're not going to have any wood in the late game. You're going to have to stick with hand cannoneers, knights, all those gold heavy units. It's kind of a blessing, kind of a curse. Marine Lord now going to be going up to the second age as well. GUA having a little bit of trouble behind the base of Marine Lord, but not too much of an issue. Going to be getting that School of Cavalry out and 2 Royal Knights already beginning in production. We're going to take a look over at Marine Lord's base and see how he's doing. We've actually got ourselves a little bit of a double wall. Now, Marine Lord, you could have walled right here and you would have been absolutely fine, I think. Actually, you know what? You wouldn't have been. Maybe if you walled right here, maybe then you'd be okay. But Marine Lord obviously realizing the spawn that he's got here. Oh, has GUA done it? GUA's done it! Oh, you dirty little GUA! He gets the perfect pull over onto the enemy villager, just being so annoying. So for anybody wondered what exactly happened right there, that was a little bit cheeky. So wolves are slower than scouts. Okay, so your scout has got 1.62 movement speed. We'll see if we can find any other wolves. There's a wolf right there. It's got 0.46 tiles of movement speed, but it goes a little bit faster when it's under attack. And what you can do is you can actually outrun the wolf. And if you time it perfectly with an enemy villager, you can make it so that it runs right into an enemy villager and then it loses aggro of you and then it gains aggro of the enemy villager. And that's exactly what we saw down there. So very cheeky of GUA to do that. Undoubtedly, they will have words about that later on in the game, but now we'll take a look over at Marine Lord's base and see how he's going to be playing. This is the perfect fast castle spawn. So I'd be curious to see whether he goes for that. Actually dropping down a gate. Having a pretty nice spawn. Actually going to be doing a forward wall up here. I do like this from Marine Lord. It's going to secure him up this stone outcropping that's quite large. But keep in mind, Enemy Knight now going to be coming through here. GUA realizing there's no other way through here. It's the only way. So Marine Lord potentially going to be losing a villager by doing that and actually realizes. So now going to be running back towards this wall. And my main question is whether this villager is going to be able to do it in time. I think if the villager tries to get back inside the wall, it will not succeed. But if it goes from the outside, if he comes directly in and heals this, or rather builds this, I think it should be fine. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, you know what? I think GUA might have this. He's trying his best to get inside. Second wall. No, it looks like he is going to go down. So Marine Lord definitely in a bit of trouble right now. GUA going to be opening a gap here. And I would expect we would see a second villager come out here. But GUA now having a bit of trouble back in his own base. Villager going to be potentially going down, losing one hit there. No charge going in. And we do see a second villager that was actually taken out right there. So the remains of a villager. So GUA having a bit of a tough time. Already down one villager. Well, I say that. His opponent is down a villager as well. But now take a look at this. Fast Castle coming in. French Fast Castle is here, ladies and gentlemen. Guildhall going to be going down. It is indeed the Guildhall getting dropped down at the back. Bit of raids happening on all parts of the map. Marine Lord's Knight significantly more HP than his opponent, so probably going to be able to secure up this wall. We do see more villagers coming out, or a single villager going to be coming out now. Marine Lord looking very strong at these early stages in the game. We'll take a look over at his base. We'll see whether we've got any age up coming through for him. Nothing through for Marine Lord just yet. Going to be going double stable in this situation. So GUA definitely going for a fast castle compared to his opponent who is not going for a fast castle. So this is where the build orders begin to diverge. Well, we have different build orders now. Keep in mind, GUA actually seems to have lost his scout at some point. So not going to have a whole lot of information about what his enemy is doing. Compare that to Marine Lord. I don't think Marine Lord spotted out the Guildhall just yet, but he does have access, or does have that scout still out, still about right now. And so give me a second right now, because what we're going to do is we're just going to talk a little bit about the most important unit in the game, which is the Knight. And so the Knight is essentially a unit that is just going to enable Marine Lord and GUA to continue trading in here. So Marine Lord's got a significant advantage. And so the primary reason why he's got the advantage is because he's got the Knight advantage. And so with having the Knight advantage means he's going to be able to apply pressure to these woodline, but most importantly to this gold. GUA is not going to be able to retake this gold unless Marine Lord has mercy. And that is not going to be the case because Marine Lord wants this gold. He knows that this gold needs to be isolated. GUA going to be switching over his Guildhall. Actually just going to be keeping it on food. We are seeing a lot of players go for food here. 2 scouts now going to be coming out for GUA, and look at that. Already picking up the important technology. What is it called? Professional Scouts. We see it just coming in right there. So GUA stealing out a couple of hunts of his enemy, realizing that he's in a bit of trouble here going the Fast Castle. And I do like this build. Fast Castle combined with Professional Scouts. We are seeing this more and more coming out, especially with the Holy Roman Empire as well. So Holy Roman Empire Fast Castle has been very strong. We've seen it continuing to evolve, but GUA having a bit of a difficult time, hasn't been able to secure his gold. So potentially if we had seen maybe a wall across here, maybe it could have worked a little bit better. So that could have potentially saved him, but obviously these guys are going to be able to siege through it. Maybe an outpost would have been the way to go, so potentially putting an outpost down, maybe even 2 outposts. One of the things we are seeing against French players are people using outposts a little bit more effectively against them. So because of Knights being so damn strong, it means that you're able to put those outposts down on the gold mine, and you're going to be able to really secure a significant advantage over your French opponent. GUA in a bit of trouble now. Marine Lord continuing to siege. Looks like he's deciding to age up behind this as well. And now it looks like multiple attacks happening in multiple angles, but keep in mind, GUA should be relatively safe against his French opponent here. I do like the professional scouts. It's really smart pickup against the French player, but now Marine Lord going to be coming in, and keep in mind, GUA has very little gold at this point. He still has yet to take this gold. Marine Lord actually sitting back here with his scout, and he says, you know what, you try and take this gold, I'm going to take your villages out, mate. Now continuing to do so much damage, and we can really see why it's so important to have this early mass against France. And, you know, as long as you age up behind this and eventually get those upgrades in before your enemy does, you can see just how strong this is. And I suspect Marine Lord probably going to be looking to age up within the next minute or two. His macro is definitely pointed in that direction. Got a lot of gold in here as well, so going to be able to get those upgrades in. Going to be able to potentially get his +1 and +2 upgrades before any battle happens. But once again, GUA in such a difficult spot. The only thing he can really do at this point in time is bide his time. His gold is completely isolated. Second gold completely isolated. He hasn't managed to sneak out any villages. He's trying his best to steal hunts, but you've got to ask to what end it's going to be. You aren't able to make knights unless you've got a gold income. GUA going to continue actually switching it over to gold now at this point, realizing that he's going to need that 700 or 800 gold now in the bank for his opponent, and a guild hall going to be going down for Marine Lord here. Plenty of knights for the advantage, and you can just see why it's so important to have the early knight mass out. GUA still yet to expand out to this south gold, still yet to take out the front gold, and a whole bunch of idle villages now for GUA. I think GUA's almost just given up. We see that he's got a couple of spears out. These spears are going to try their best to get out onto the map. A couple knights going to get picked off, and I think GUA realizes, has GUA gone AFK? I think GUA went AFK. He's like, you know what, I'm so done. I'm so done with this French nonsense. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this short little look inside the French Fast Castle and why at the moment it's just not really viable. Also, make sure you check out Genesis, which is happening this week, and I'll leave a link in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Make sure you check it out. It is happening, $20,000 tournament. Come in, say a day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.